I am just now getting to the point to where fear doesn't cripple me.
Yeah.
Because my biggest fear my entire life has been singing. And I've been paralyzed in that my entire life.
Yeah.
Until even now, it's still like palms are getting sweaty. I'm like, gotta pep talk myself. I have to remember why I'm doing this. I have to anchor to my why. I have to like really, really push myself outside of this mindset of you're going to die if you get up there and sing. Right?
Yeah.
And so that's been my biggest probably transformation. Now I feel like I'm in one of the biggest like initiations, I guess, of sorts in my life now. But yeah, people do tell me like, you just don't seem like you're afraid of things. It's like, I am absolutely terrified most of the time. Terrified.
Yeah.
But my favorite feeling in the entire world is right after I do something that I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
That, whatever that is, if I could just bottle that up and keep it, that is my favorite feeling in the world. So I try to remind myself of like, yeah, I'm really, really scared right now, but just wait. Just wait.
That's amazing. I love that. That's incredible. Okay. So you went on then obviously won. So you won Texas and then you won Miss USA. Mm-hmm. So then after that, you obviously did the whole year and traveled and did all that stuff. But then what made you then want to do MMA? Like that's so... What?
I know, right? So crazy. Why? I even look back like, what a weird idea I had. But it was, it was my ex-fiance at the time, Aubrey Marcus, owns On It. And so we were building that and doing that whole thing. We had a bunch of fighters coming in. And I just wanted to stay in shape. Yeah. And so I started doing like kickboxing to stay in shape. And I just had like a natural ability for it. It was something that I really enjoyed doing too. And so I did that and started with jiu-jitsu. Okay. That I hated for the first 2 months. I was like, this is BS. Like, why does anybody want to do this? And it was just because I was constantly getting my ass kicked, but after I got over that hump, I realized that I loved jiu-jitsu. And it was just something that I wanted to not only challenge myself with, but I wanted to challenge the societal narrative too of, this pageant girl. Now, usually, a lot of the times when you hand your crown over, it's like, oh, you're going to get married and have kids now. Yeah. Which, beautiful path if that's for you. Yes. That wasn't for me at that point. I was 22 years old, and I wanted to like, I don't know, go do things. And so I just realized like, okay, what is something that can really challenge myself and the world around me? And it was, Miss United States goes on to take a fight.
That's amazing.
And I knew it was going to be challenging internally, like physically, mentally, and all of the things. And it absolutely was. I went to full fight camp. I did some fight camp out in Thailand as well. But my full training was with Tony Jeffries in Santa Monica. Okay. And it was very hard. Very hard.
I mean, talk about that fear going into the rings. I literally couldn't think. I can't imagine that, like fathom that of going into that. What was that feeling? And then after the fact, because I know someone just recently asked you, would you go back and fight again? And you were like, I don't know. So what was like that whole process then?
So I think really, getting ready for a fight, yes, it's physical for sure. But me being an athlete and coming from a background of sports, that didn't bother me as much. It was more so the mental aspect of it and gearing myself up mentally for it. Because, because it just weighs on your psyche. Yeah. Because it's just constantly there. What happens if this happens? What happens if this happens? If she does this, what do I do? If I get knocked out in front of all of my friends and family after doing a huge like YouTube series and everything on it, like, are they still going to love me? Am I going to be a failure? How is that going to go? And I remember Aubrey actually... We had this whole plan that if I get knocked out, I was just going to raise my hand. And I knew that if I just raised my hand afterwards, people would cheer for me. And so it was just like, okay, it's a win-win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even if you get knocked out, it's okay.
Yeah. But I remember being, back in the locker room and hitting mitts with my coach and just feeling like everything was coming together. Yeah. Perfectly as it should have been. I was hitting like super sharp and super fast. And there was a point though I couldn't have Aubrey give me any sort of like love or attention during training because it was already such an emotional thing for me, getting hit in the face and all of that, you have to really be composed. And so for me, if someone gave me comfort and like, hey, you're doing a good job, I'd be like, oh, I'm not, I suck, And so I just had to like sit in my own mind. Yeah. And we were walking out to the ring, and he put his hands like on my shoulders, and I almost started bawling, crying. I was like, no,
Don't touch
right
me,
now.
don't touch me.
Yeah, exactly. But really, you know, I just knew that me even stepping into that ring was an accomplishment in and of itself to go through that, and it was so much fun.